Hi, Jodie Thornton, parent coach here. This morning I want to talk about how to handle it when you feel judged as a parent. The most important thing to remember is that when somebody is judging your parenting, they feel really, really strongly about the importance of parenting. And I know that it's hard to remember that when you're feeling like, that they're treating you awfully or that they're speaking to you in a really awful fashion. But the very first thing is that they think that being a parent and doing it well is really important. And that's something you can agree with them on. The second thing it tells you is that they actually care either generally about children or about your child specifically, and they really want your child to be raised well. And that's also something that you can agree on. And I know that that sounds like a little bit funny to cross it to cover those kind of really basic comments, but I think what really comes out in these types of conflicts is that we forget how much we actually agree on, and those two things you can agree on. The third thing that's really important about when someone is judging your parenting is that they may not realize like that your strategies can work. And often, on the other side of the same coin, is that we feel most upset by judgment when we're worried that our strategies, we're not confident that our strategies are actually going to work. And so that's kind of a really important two sides of the same coin, that there's a reason that they don't think those strategies will work. One might be that they think the only reason that they're okay or the only reason that their kids are okay is that they used a strategy that you're not currently using, and they're really, really worried that without that, so it might be, spare the rod, save the child. I think I said that wrong. You know what I mean. It might be the types of shaming that we're moving away from in this generation. It might be how we treat children with respect more and more as this generation of parents is growing and learning about parenting. All of those things, that they really can be panicked about whether the new wave of strategies are going to work. And when we actually kind of throw back at them, when we send a bar back or kind of go, get into an argumentative space, we're actually really challenging how they see the world. And so then it becomes, it can become really, really upsetting for them too. And now I'm not saying that they should be allowed to just judge you and you should just cop it and just, smile and say, thanks so much, Grandma. But what I am saying is that the reverse is true also, that we don't want to be like really bringing up other people's inner, like real inner work that they need to do if they want to. We don't want to be bringing that up just as a way to defend ourselves. So how do you handle it? Really what it comes down to is respectfully holding a boundary. So you can say things that I want you to always tell the truth, but you can say things like, I'm choosing the strategies as best I can, and I'm always working on it. But at the moment, I don't feel really comfortable with you criticizing me. Now, I know that in a lot of cases that would lead to further judgment, but sometimes that's okay because they're trying to kind of get you to listen because they're really, really, really intent on you changing your mind so as to save your child. So then the second response can be, I understand your point. Thank you. Right? And that total truth. And you don't have to add the thank you if you're feeling really put upon. You can say, I have heard your point. I understand it. I'm choosing differently. And I know that that sounds like really easy to deliver when you're not actually facing someone who is judging you, but it can, with practice, it can be done. And the more you can rehearse it, and, obviously when there's specific examples, working through why is it important to you and what you need to do to hold boundaries so that you can have a great time, whether it be through the Christmas period, which is coming up, or whether it be just ordinary family get-togethers or random incidents at the shops. It's like amazing how many people will comment on parenting that for someone that they really don't know. But yeah, so I really want to encourage you to find a way that feels powerful in a quiet, powerful kind of sense, that doesn't try to convince someone that you're right, because at the end of the day they may never see parenting the way you see it. And also for some people, in order to see parenting the way you see it, it will bring up a lot of their own inner work that we just don't want to force that onto other people. It's up to them to choose whether they want to, and at what time and how they do that. So really just finding that response that says, I hear you, I'm not changing my mind, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And you might want to actually say to them, I would be willing to listen to why you think that's important, and how you think it would help my children, without giving a promise that you will change. So like, I can't promise that I'll change my mind, but I'd really love to hear, like, why do you think it's so important that I show him who's boss, or something like that. And then you can share your view if you want to, but you can also just stand firm in the fact that this is just how I parent and this is how I do it. Now, if you're not feeling very confident on your strategies and that's why the judgment is really upsetting for you, I highly recommend jumping on and having a session with me. They're usually $147 for an hour. I have a Black Friday weekend special or Cyber Monday special that's running until midnight on Monday. So if you send me an email at jodie@jodiethornton.com, I can send you a link to book in, and we can work through how to feel confident that you are heading in the right direction. So you're not going to fix, your entire confidence with your parenting strategies in one session, but you can feel confident that I am doing the best thing for my child in this moment, and I'm learning and growing as I go. So I look forward to talking to you about your parenting again, and don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can see all my new videos.